Alright, are we live? Are we live? I want to check if we are live before I do anything else. Are we live? Well, it says that we're streaming, so I'm going to go ahead and full screen my browser, and okay. Well, everything seems to be working. So, hey guys, this is SharpZ. Today we are going to be watching the Nintendo Direct that starts in about 30 minutes. I'm going to start by listing off a few of my predictions. Just give me a minute. I'm plugging my phone in because I actually. So usually when I do these, when I hear about a Direct, I usually put my predictions in a Google Doc, and that it just helps me organize them because the thing with a Nintendo Direct is usually how they work. And this is from someone who's watched Nintendo Directs for the past maybe 4 or 5 years. I've watched almost every Direct live. How they do it is they organize it by, like, they'll have maybe 3 or 4 big announcements, um, with about 10 smaller ones. And I think we might get, this here's the thing. With this year, we have a few big games that we know are coming up. So the big ones are Bayonetta 3 is big for a decent amount of people. Kirby is getting a new mainline entry, and I think there's a few small other ones. But the I would say the biggest game that came out recently is Legends Arceus, because regardless of how you feel about modern Pokemon, it's Pokemon. It's a system seller. Similar to like Mario Kart, Smash Bros, Mario Party, people will buy a Nintendo console just for Pokemon. Like I have my 3DS right here, and granted, I'm not a Pokemon fan, so I didn't buy it for Pokemon. But I know people who are like, "Why don't you have Pokemon for your portables? That's the big portable Nintendo game." Um, anyway, getting into what my predictions are. So I think first we are due for a new Mario game. And I think it's either gonna be one of the spin-off, like more party style series. So the one that I hope it is Strikers. I hope we get a new Strikers at some point. But the one that's we're not, it's not unlikely that we'll get either a new Odyssey announcement or a new Mario Kart announcement. Because since Smash Bros is wrapped up, Nintendo could now put Mario Kart out without it feeling like Mario Kart and Smash Bros are competing with each other for hype. Um, I feel like if they're going to announce a new Mario Kart and it's going to be focused mainly on a Nintendo crossover roster, um, I just want to go ahead and give my predictions for that. I would say the first characters they would probably start with is they'd probably start with Mario and Link, and then reveal Captain Falcon. Mostly because for Nintendo fans, that's one that they know, and one that hasn't been there. Because Captain Falcon comes from an actual racing series in F-Zero. Um, so if we were to talk about like crossover characters for a Nintendo racing game, Captain Falcon's the first one that comes to mind. I could also see them adding in a biker from Excite Bike and Mock Rider are the two that I think immediately also come to mind. Granted, those are both from older series, so I think that overall it's fairly unlikely. Breath of the Wild 2 information, I think, is highly likely, especially considering we didn't get anything at the Game Awards. I think it's highly likely that if we had gotten information... So, my idea was that whatever game won the most anticipated game award was going to be the one that got advertisements and trailer stuff for it. So if Breath of the Wild 2 had won and gotten the reveal stuff, it probably would have been at the Game Awards. But I think they're revealing it here on purpose because it's Nintendo. They know that their fans watch their directs. But oh yeah. Since I was on Mario game, another thing I think is likely is a mainline. I think a mainline Mario game is something that we might be due for. Especially, so the ones that I think are most likely, we might get a new 2D game, not a new Super Mario Bros. Game. I think they're done with that series, but a new 2D Mario Brothers game. Because we have Odyssey already, but it feels like 2D Mario is kind of stuck back where it was in the Wii era. So I feel like their next approach, since they did this with 2D Metroid with Metroid Dread, and kind of did it with Top Down Zelda with the most recent Zelda remake. I can kind of see, well, not the most recent remake. I forgot about Skyward Sword, but the if they do the same thing with 2D Mario, I would not be surprised. So we might get a new 2D Mario, or maybe Odyssey 2. I think one of the two is highly likely. Bayonetta 3 information and 3D information on the new 3D Kirby games. Those just seem highly likely to me. Those are the ones where I'm like, if they don't say anything, it's probably going to either be one or the other. More likely, we're going to get information on Kirby than Bayonetta, or maybe we'll get a full gameplay reveal for Bayonetta. I think there was a little bit in the last trailer, but I think Nintendo would probably say, "Hey, Sega, put a little more, put a little bit more in the next Bayonetta reveal." So fans know what to expect. Switch Online will probably have some kind of an announcement. So I would say the most likely things for Switch Online. Number one, and most likely, we're going to get a new console announced soon. I wouldn't say like right now, but they're going to at least hint at something for online in this direct. I think we might get a new 99 as well. Because the last one was Pac-Man 99, and that was a while back. I think the ones that are kind of likely, so I think if they're gonna add a 99 mode to a game, it's probably gonna be like WarioWare or some franchise, or because they had it in the most recent Mario Party, so it wouldn't surprise me if they said, "Hey, here's a battle royale mode for WarioWare." Well, we're talking about Nintendo stuff. Monolith, the creators of the Xenoblade series, are also currently working on a new project. A lot of Xenoblade fans think it might be Xenoblade 3. Personally, I wouldn't mind if they took Xenosaga and they just remade the Xenosaga 1 through 3 for the Switch. Because the thing is, so I finished Xenosaga 1 recently and really liked it. Started 2, and 2 is not as good as 1, but I've heard 3 is really good, and I would pick it up if it wasn't $300. So I'm gonna probably have to end up emulating that, or find someone who owns it. But all that aside, I could see Monolith either making Xenoblade 3 sounds somewhat probable. They said the game was going to be more mature. One thing I could see them doing is making Xenoblade Chronicles X2. And I know some people are going to say, why are you saying that? We only have 2 mainline Xenoblade games, and X is kind of a spinoff. I can just kind of see it. I just have this weird gut feeling like X2 might be one of the things that is possible there. Either that or they're rebooting one of their old series for the Switch. Because the thing is, I love Xenoblade. Don't get me wrong. But as a Xenoblade fan, I feel like I've gotten my fill on the Switch for now. Because there's already been Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for 1. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Torna. X hasn't been ported, but here's the thing. if you're a fan of X, you're a fan of X. If you're not a fan of X, you're not a fan of X. There's very few people who I've talked to who are like, oh, I'm not really into Xenoblade Chronicles X, but I still kind of like it. It's either you're all the way in or all the way out. And I personally don't really like X, but I feel like it might be probable for them to make a new one. Let me see here. Moving on from Monolith, which is something I really don't want to do. Let me go into the more... Oh yeah, one more thing I think they're going to do. Mario movie announcement. One thing that is kind of likely is a Mario movie trailer or teaser of some kind. Because we know the actors. We haven't seen any designs of the characters or something like that. It wouldn't surprise me if they threw in, like... Because this is Nintendo we're talking about. They probably have Illumination... They're probably like holding Illumination at gunpoint and saying, "Okay, you release these how we want to." So it wouldn't surprise me if that's the announcement. So for unlikely games, I'm gonna start with one relating to an anniversary that has been ongoing for the past few months, and I'm kind of surprised only one port. If I remember correctly, there's only been one port announced for the Switch because of it. The Persona anniversary started recently. And I know some people are expecting me to say Persona 5 for this, but I do not think it will be Persona 5. I think, so the most likely ports, let me get the one that everybody's going to be like, why would you say this? You're shooting yourself in the foot out of the way. The Persona dancing games might get a port to the Switch. Because I think it would just be hilarious if Atlus literally ported everything Persona related except for the Persona games themselves to the Switch. I think that might be kind of likely. I mean, one that I didn't put on the document that I think also might be likely, maybe they're going to announce an expansion for Strikers that'll come to the Switch first and then to the PlayStation 4 later. That is a possibility. But the one that I think everyone wants would be a port of Persona 4 and 3 and 4. That's what I want. I want a port of 3 FES or normal 3 and Persona 4 or 4 Golden. And before someone says, why didn't you say portable? I just feel like if they're going to port it to the Switch, they're going to port the console versions and not the portable version. Because the portable version is a little bit downsized from the console versions in some areas. And while for some people I can see why they really like that, it kind of streamlines a lot of Persona, I just don't think that Nintendo would... let me restate this. I don't think Atlus would port the version that would look less impressive on the Switch. I mean, both of those games could easily run on the Switch. Like, I'm pretty sure there's probably videos online of people running PS2 emulators on Switch. Even then, they ported Persona 4 Golden to PC natively. And it would not surprise me if they announced, oh, we're porting 4 Golden and Persona 3 FES. I think that's the safest bet. Because 4 Arena's coming. That's the one I'm really excited for. But I think we might be getting more Persona soon. Because especially in the trailers, they're like, oh, have you wondered what happened after Persona 4 Golden? And that just sounds kind of suspicious to me. Because I'm like, yeah, but a lot of Nintendo fans haven't played Persona 4 Golden yet. I personally have. I love Persona 4. It's my favorite out of the series. But yeah, moving on to some more of those. Zero Escape. And I know some of you are saying, what? But Zero Escape is a series that's by the same company that made Danganronpa and the AI Somnium Files series. Those are both by Spike Chunsoft. And Spike Chunsoft also owns Zero Escape. So I don't know the numbers exactly for the Danganronpa game, but if that did well, which I'm pretty sure it sold decently enough for them to maybe consider porting a new... How do I put it? I think Danganronpa probably did well enough for them to at least consider porting the Zero Escape trilogy. I think the Zero Escape games would be a great way to just put something new in the Switch lineup for the next few months, because that's a good release for the people like me who like to grab a smaller release every once in a while that will probably take them a few months to get through. Like Danganronpa, I can just play through those at my own pace and not feel the need to speed through them. Chibi Robo hasn't had a game in a while, but I feel, I mean, the thing is, Nintendo kind of puts them on the back burner, and they always view the series as, oh, the series doesn't sell well, and that's Chibi Robo's fault. I don't have high hopes for that one, but I kind of think it would be a decent idea for a port. While I'm talking about older franchises coming back, one that I would also love to see is Eternal Darkness. I know that wouldn't happen. I'm just saying some crazy stuff out of the way. Another thing, I put this on, I was talking with someone on Twitter earlier today, and I mentioned this. So, for those of you who don't know, my Twitter is the exact same handle as my YouTube account. It is at SharpZ Space Studios. Do not put an underscore. That's someone else's account. Project Cross Zone is a crossover between, and anyone who's played the game, just correct me down in the comments if I get this wrong, Bandai Namco, Capcom, and I want to say Sega as well. And the Project Cross Zone 1 and 2 games have I don't think they have like a massive fan base, but they have a very dedicated fan base. And I think that out of all the 3DS games that have not been ported, that is the one where I can see them saying, hey, we're going to port 1 and 2 when we make another one. They're not like heavily story-based or anything, but I think a sequel or a re-release of 1 and 2 is highly likely. Because we've gotten re-releases of, how do I put it? I feel like the Switch has become the ground where games that were going to die on the PlayStation Portable, the PlayStation Vita, or 3DS can kind of stay for a bit. Like, one game that it's not Resident Evil. Shoot, what is it? Caligula Effect. The Caligula Effect series is one that I never hear anyone talk about, but it was stuck on the PlayStation Portable and Vita for the longest time. And it was ported over to the Switch, I want to say about a year, 2 years ago, and they had a sequel. So the game has to have done at least decently well. I think a new Donkey Kong game is one that actually, all the crazy predictions I have, that one might be the weirdest crazy one. Because I feel like that might happen. We haven't had a new Donkey Kong game since Tropical Freeze, and that was on the Wii U. Donkey Kong as a series is one that I always feel, the new Donkey Kong series needs to kind of operate in a trilogy. So I could see them saying is, hey, here's a remake of the OG Donkey Kong Country with button controls, and here is the new Donkey Kong Country. And just released those a few weeks apart. There have been rumors of a new Metroid Prime remake going around. I think that's a possibility. For those of you who are unaware, the reason I'm saying a Metroid Prime remake and not Metroid Prime trilogy, but supposed rumors from insiders is that it's more of a Final Fantasy VII style remake than like Wind Waker. That's the one that just immediately came to mind, where it's like from the ground up a reimagining of the game, where it's almost a completely new game at this point. Puyo Puyo Tetris 3. I just thought that would be funny if that happens, so I put it in my list of predictions. Legends Arceus DLC. It's going to get it. I just don't think they're going to announce it now. I feel like they might wait another month or so for the next direct, because usually we get one in winter, one in spring, one in fall, and then one at like the tail. So it'll probably be 2 or 3 months, and they'll be like, oh, here's some DLC, because I don't think they'll have anything to show yet. King of Fighters might get a port to Switch announced. I don't think it's going to be the most recent one, but I can see them, SNK, pushing for some project to be on Switch, because to me it's kind of felt weird that King of Fighters 14, I think it is not on Switch. That just kind of feels a little odd. Especially when they put Terry in Smash, and then the next game that Terry's in is just not coming to Switch. So maybe we're gonna get a Switch port announced. I wouldn't say now, but at some point. Another one that I think is highly unlikely, but I would love to see. So, Cadence of Hyrule was a game that came out, I want to say it was around 2 years ago at this point. Um, and that was a collaboration between an indie studio and Nintendo. I think that we might get another one of those. So, I'm just going to go ahead and list a few of those ideas off. One that would be absolutely crazy, and I would kind of want to see, but yet at the same time, there would be so many memes about it online. Toby Fox's not Toby Fox's Undertale. Once Toby Fox finishes Deltarune, I would love for them to get into contact with him and be like, "Hey, make a Mother game," because there's already the Sans' Nest joke. A few other ones that I think I could see. Maybe they could get in contact with Bloober Team about making an Eternal Darkness game. I just love Eternal Darkness and want it to get another entry, okay? Just let me have this. I think that... not Splatoon. I would love to see a collection by the team that was behind the most recent, like, Streets of Rage and all that. Like, a team... I always forget the name. But the team that makes, like, takes those pixel art style games and remakes them with, like, these beautiful sprite art, and I would love for Nintendo to have them make, like, SNES remix. Honestly, I could see that being announced here. If they're going to announce another, like, retro, weird style game, now would be the time, because their lineup right now looks like it's a whole bunch of very new age style games, and we haven't really had a retro feeling title from Nintendo for the past, like, 3 or 4 months. I would say the last one that really felt like it was still an old style game was 3D World got a port with some new content in it. I'm saying, like, a lot of it doesn't... It feels like we don't really have any of Nintendo's big hitters out yet. We had Pokemon earlier. Kirby's getting a title, but... I mean, I love Kirby, but his game's not going to sell as much as, like, a Mario or a Zelda. It just doesn't appear like there's that really big hitter game yet. So I could see them trying to maybe push it to be the next Metroid, because Dread was received so well. So it wouldn't surprise me if we get a Metroid announcement of some kind. Because I feel like when they announced Dread, they were like, oh, Metroid Prime is still in development. Dread was announced at E3 last year, so that was about... Sorry, the guy outside is blasting music. But yeah, no. I think we are due for another Metroid announcement soon. I don't know what it's going to be. And it feels weird to say that, because here's the thing. I love Metroid. I remember we had like a 10... We're used to 10-year droughts between games. So it's like we'll get a Metroid announcement, we'll get a Metroid game. We'll get maybe 3 or 4 of them in a couple-year period. And then they're just silent. So I'm hoping that they end that trend here and say, here's another Metroid game of some kind. Maybe they announce maybe something else, but I think that probably covers... I think that about covers everything I wanted to say about predictions. I think there's a few more. How do I delete my own? Yeah, but anyway, so we are at 6 minutes away from the direct. I've gone through most of my predictions already. I want to say what I think is definitely not going to be here, and that's a Smash character. Um, the thing is, Sora feels like the perfect way to end it, and it just feels like a conclusion. I honestly hope we don't get. I mean, maybe if it's like one more announcement, that would be all I'll be fine with. Because the thing is, Sakurai has been working on Smash Bros. Consistently for, I think it's been nearly a decade at this point. Because he was working on Wii U, went directly from Wii U into Smash Ultimate, and then with Ultimate, he was working through 2021. And if you're considering all that, I think he said it himself, you could go from middle school to high school during that time. And I went, actually, funny story, I went from middle school to college during that time. I remember playing Smash Bros. For Wii U in middle school, and I'm currently in college on my junior year, and Sora releases. So yeah, it's kind of crazy how long that's been in development. I don't want them to immediately put him on a new project. I want him to just have time to rest. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe we'll get a new Kid Icarus. That's one that I didn't list, but I think is a possibility. Kid Icarus is just that franchise where I feel like they could throw one out. Kid Icarus fans would be excited, but they wouldn't have to put like a giant commitment to it. And I think that covers... Yeah, I honestly, I think this might be... In terms of the announcements, I'm not expecting too many big ones. Because this is the beginning of the year. Usually they save their really big announcements for E3. So I think that they might tease Mario Odyssey. But they're not going to give it, like, a full reveal. They're probably just going to say, oh, it's going to release at the tail end of 2022. Wait for more info at E3. Because E3 is their big presentation. So keep in mind they're going to be holding off some stuff unless it's releasing in, like, March. Unless it's releasing, like, anytime before or during the middle of summer, they're going to hold it off until that E3 Direct. Because that's the big one. That's the one that everyone watches. Because Nintendo Directs usually have a decent turnout, but E3 is massive because everyone's paying attention, especially investors. Like, you have to keep in mind, the Nintendo Directs are for investors as well as the casual fan. So it's not just about hyping up fans, it's about showing investors, hey, this is what we have for this year. And coming out swinging would get a heavy investment, but I think Nintendo's already in a good position. Granted, I think that they might have to address a few controversies that have happened recently. I love Nintendo, but what happened to Gilva Sunner? I think that's his name. Gilva Sunner recently is that's a little bit disheartening. I think the thing for me is you have to separate like the lawyer side of Nintendo from the game developer side of Nintendo, because like I love Nintendo as a developer, but as a company I don't like some of the stuff they do. Because as a developer, they're one of the very few that's maintained their integrity over the years, where it's like, if I buy a Nintendo game, for the most part, I know it's going to be a finished, complete game when I buy it. I know that I'm not going to have to purchase, like, hundreds of dollars in microtransactions. Like, Splatoon, for example, has the perfect model for them to say, hey, you can pay money to win this, but it doesn't have that, because that's just not what Nintendo wants to do. They put a game being fun before a game making a profit. Sometimes to their own detriment, but they still do it. Alright, we are 1 minute until the Direct starts. First half of 2022. Weird to say 2022. 2020 was such a long year, and then 2021 just happened. Like, I remember I was like, this year can't get any worse. 2021 somehow got a little bit worse than 2020. 1 more minute. Oh, wow. Yep, there it goes.
The cycle of this world. I will not allow it to perish with you.
Well, no.
I seek to destroy the irrational power structure that shackles Fodlan.
If the kingdom is ever to part ways with our bloody past, this is the path we must walk.
I have ambitions, Edelgard. Real ones.
Will you sit around and wait for a miracle? Or will you help me seize control of my fate?
We shall fight. We shall survive. And we shall win a glorious future for Fodlan.
And now that I know, I won't make the same mistake again.
Revenge is not a thing you take for someone else. You seek revenge to slake your rage and heal your wounded heart. I know you are prepared to do whatever that you must.
Okay. Watch, they're gonna talk for like 10 minutes.
Hello everyone, I'm Shinya Takahashi, and I'll be your guide for today's Nintendo Direct. What you just saw was the trailer for the Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes game. We hope you'll look forward to a different story set in the same universe as Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Let's see the first batch of Nintendo Switch headlines.
Okay, thank you.
The Orange Star Nation needs you.
Oh yeah, I forgot Advance Wars is coming out.
We've got more intel on the Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp game. In the first campaign, Advance Wars, you'll advise a colorful cast of commanding officers and use their abilities in vibrant turn-based battles. Each commanding officer is now voiced, bringing even more charm to these characters.
You're gonna get hurt.
I see right through your plans.
Another full campaign awaits in Advance Wars 2 Black Hole Rising. More commanding officers and more diverse terrain can be leveraged for additional tactical opportunities, like blasting through pipelines to cross into enemy territory. In both campaigns, you can fast-forward gameplay and reset your turns for a smoother tactical experience. Flex your strategic muscles outside of both campaigns with additional modes.
Wow.
Go for high scores in the War Room.
Oh my God,
Create and
they're
share
going all
custom
out.
maps in the Design Room.
What?
Or battle friends and frenemies in local and online multiplayer.
They're going all out with it. Holy crap.
Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp marches onto the Nintendo Switch system April 8th. Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop.
Okay, they delayed this game, and I see why now.
Explore an infinite universe.
Wait, is this No Man's Sky?
In No Man's Sky,
Holy
every
crap,
star
they
is
did
the
it.
light of a distant sun,
Oh my word.
each orbited by planets teeming with life. Travel to planets of your choosing in this infinite, procedurally generated universe. Here, you'll discover extraordinary lands and creatures that have never been seen before and may never be seen again. To survive, you must craft your own tools and even your own place to live. In this living and breathing universe, trade convoys travel between stars. Factions vie for territory. Pirates hunt unwary travelers. And the authorities are ever watchful. Your journey may be fraught with danger, and actions have consequences. Traitor, fighter, explorer. How will you live in this universe? No Man's Sky lands on Nintendo Switch this summer.
Good job, Hello Games. Oh. Strikers! Holy crap! Holy crap! Yes! Yes!
Yeah.
Mario Strikers Battle League.
Oh my
Prepare
God.
for Strike, a 5-on-5 sport like soccer that's way heavy on offense. Aim for goals by dribbling and passing to teammates, as well as by using tackles, items, and crushing special shots. The main rule in this sport is to rule the field. Try to score more goals than your opponents.
Where's the Give Me My Money button?
There are two things to keep in mind that'll help you with your strategies. First, the gear you equip. It changes not only your appearance, but also your stats like speed, strength, and pass accuracy. Customize as you see fit. Second, the Hyper Strike. To activate this shot, grab an orb when it appears on the field and charge it while your opponents are distracted. Hit the net and you'll score not one, but 2 goals. Up to 8 players, 4 players on each team can compete against each other on one Nintendo Switch system. In addition to individual matches, online play will have an online club mode. Join an in-game club and compete for placement in the rankings. Up to 20 players can join a club, so create your own and invite friends and family to play alongside you, or join an existing one owned by other players. Try to become the world's top club. With items, tackles, and hyper strikes. Anything goes on this field. Mario Strikers Battle League launches on Nintendo Switch June 10th. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop.
It's going to be Mario Strikers.
The latest iteration of the Mario Strikers series is coming to Nintendo Switch. We hope you're excited for this anything goes battle soccer game. Next, please take a look at this.
Please take a look at this. Wait. Oh, the salmon problem is bad. That was I'm sorry. I'm not. DLC or is it part of the base game or? They're just not gonna.
That was the trailer for the co-op mode in the Splatoon 3 game, the next wave of Salmon Run. A giant salmonid, one that's never been seen before, was also spotted at the end of the trailer. Will the Inklings and Octolings ink or swim? Splatoon 3 will launch this summer. We hope you'll look forward to future updates.
If you consider the Lego Star Wars,
Let's move on to more Nintendo Switch headlines.
I swear, if it was gonna be the Mario.
Bonzers at the ready.
Wait, watch this. Is this the? I forget what the franchise name is. I know that.
A full remake of the first Front Mission game is storming onto Nintendo Switch.
What?
In this tactical RPG, you'll pilot weaponized machines called Vanzers and lead your battalion to victory. Gain the upper hand in battle by aiming for enemy parts to destroy. Mix and match various weapons and parts to customize your Vanzer. Uncover the great storyline of this classic when Front Mission 1 Remake launches on Nintendo Switch this summer. And in the future, the sequel, Front Mission 2 Remake, will also launch on Nintendo Switch. Get set for a high-octane Disney and Pixar combat racer.
Wait, no.
From the creators of the Asphalt series comes rip-roaring racing action across Disney and Pixar-inspired racetracks. Race as a legendary roster of characters on high-speed circuits, using each one's special abilities to battle for victory across the finish line. Choose Mickey Mouse for symphonic speed, Sully for monstrous power, or Mulan for explosive maneuvers. Each racer also possesses powerful ultimate skills, perfect for turning the tables at the last second. Disney Speedstorm is a free-to-play game, with new seasons added regularly, bringing more exciting Disney and Pixar characters, circuits, karts, and more. Plus, enjoy cross-platform play, as well as split-screen and online multiplayer modes.
Okay, this is gonna be...
Disney Speedstorm races onto Nintendo Switch this summer.
If it's gonna be good...
Dive into these classic franchises on Nintendo Switch.
This is either a single...
Unleash the power of the Force in this classic Star Wars action-adventure. As Darth Vader's secret apprentice, you'll use devastating Force powers and lightsaber combos as you hunt down Jedi Masters on iconic planets. Upgrade abilities like Force Grip and Force Repulse, then combine them for even more destructive combos. Use button controls or opt for motion controls, enhanced from the original Wii version. You can also duel locally with a friend to determine who is the galaxy's most powerful Jedi. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed launches on Nintendo Switch April 20th. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop. The complete saga of legendary assassin Ezio Auditore da Firenze awaits in 3 critically acclaimed Assassin's Creed games. Explore Renaissance Italy and 16th century Constantinople. Interact with historical figures and discover secrets of the Creed across 3 games, 2 bonus short films, and DLC. Plus, take advantage of enhanced features for the Nintendo Switch system on the go, including touchscreen controls, HD Rumble, and optimized on-screen display. Assassin's Creed: The Ezio Collection launches on Nintendo Switch February 17th. Pilot mobile suits in dynamic action RPG battles. Strange incidents called breaks are occurring across the Gundam universe. Find out what's causing them and restore the proper timeline. You'll lead 3 mobile suits in battle. Enhance each suit with parts to improve their power. You can also battle alongside friends in online co-op multiplayer. SD Gundam Battle Alliance launches on Nintendo Switch this year. 2 worlds cross in the triumphant return of this RPG classic.
Wait a minute.
A remaster of the acclaimed RPG Chrono Cross is coming to the Nintendo Switch system.
Holy crap!
One fateful day, the protagonist Surge wanders into an alternate world. Though it somewhat resembles his home world, he finds that he no longer exists here. How did this happen? What is this mysterious another world? Travel back and forth between both worlds to unravel the story. Over 40 characters can join your party. Depending on the choices you make, the allies who accompany you and the endings that trigger will differ. A number of improvements have been made to this remaster, like the ability to turn off enemy encounters and a newly enhanced soundtrack. Plus, Radical Dreamers, originally released on the Satellaview, is included. Experience the origins of Chrono Cross in this text-based adventure. Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition, dashes and slashes its way onto Nintendo Switch April 7th. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop.
This direct is freaking amazing. Kirby! Yes! My boy! Is he gonna eat the card?
It's Kirby's latest unforgettable 3D platforming adventure, Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Oh my god.
It all takes place in a mysterious world with an unusual mix of nature and civilization. To rescue the kidnapped Waddle Dees, Kirby sets off on a new adventure. Introducing Mouthful Mode. Inhale a car to zoom around. A vending machine to attack with juice cans. Or become a piercing cone. With Mouthful Mode, new actions will be available for Kirby depending on the object he inhales. Enjoy exploring with new moves different from copy abilities. Kirby can even weaponize a mouthful of water, like this. As Kirby rescues Waddle Dees, Waddle Dee Town will continue to grow and more resources will become available. At Waddle Dee's Weapon Shop, familiar copy abilities can be evolved. Evolve copy abilities to expand Kirby's range of attacks. They'll also change Kirby's appearance and make him even more powerful.
It's Kirby. He's already a god. What more does he need?
Some copy abilities may have stronger evolved forms.
Oh. Oh, shoot.
A new adventure awaits our Pink Puffball.
My god.
Who are the Beast Pack? What are these enemies trying to do? Can Kirby restore peace to this world? Kirby and the Forgotten Land launches on the Nintendo Switch system March 25th. Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop.
Well, there goes my mark.
That was Kirby and the Forgotten Land, launching later next month. Please look forward to its release. Let's take a look at some more Nintendo Switch headlines.
Oh wow, we're already like halfway through this direct.
任天堂ディレクトをご覧の皆さん、こんにちは。バッターの大谷翔平です。ピッチャーの大谷翔平です。任天堂スイッチ上で今回初めて MLB 打賞22が楽しめるようになりました。それではこちらをご覧ください。
That's right, Otani-san. MLB The Show is coming to Nintendo Switch. That means you can play modes like Road to the Show and Diamond Dynasty on your Nintendo Switch. But that's not all. You can even play Exhibition with a single Joy-Con controller. With cross progression, you can also earn and use content on any platform where MLB The Show 22 is available. And take your progress on the go with you.
MLB The Show popular in Japan?
On Nintendo Switch. Have friends that play MLB The Show 22 online matches on other consoles? No need to worry. You can invite them and play online. I knew you were a true two-way player, but this is ridiculous. Sheesh.
You're gonna have your hands full of games with these collections.
More collections? Okay, let's see.
3 Kingdom Hearts collections are almost here. From Kingdom Hearts to Kingdom Hearts 3 and the Remind DLC, every entry is coming to Nintendo Switch as cloud versions that can be played while connected to the internet.
Why?
Relive or get to know these heart-filled adventures alongside Sora, Donald, Goofy, and more for the first time in TV, tabletop, or handheld mode. Kingdom Hearts Intergram Masterpiece for Cloud, containing all 3 game collections, soars onto Nintendo Switch tomorrow.
What?
Each collection's cloud version will also be individually available on Nintendo eShop.
Klonoa!
Klonoa is coming to Nintendo Switch. Across dreamy side-scrolling levels, you'll run, jump, and hover, while firing wind bullets to grab and throw enemies. Use each level's surroundings to your advantage.
This is one of the best ones we've had.
Also, Klonoa 2 is included. Take on these great adventures when Klonoa Fantasy Reverie Series launches on Nintendo Switch July 8th. We're so glad you're here.
Holy crap!
Come here often. Either way, you're in for a puzzling treat. In these award-winning games, the Portal Gun is your key to surviving imprisonment in a mysterious lab.
Oh my god!
Create portals and warp to other areas to find cake? Still unconfirmed. You can pass through portals, and so can cubes, lasers, and robots with unnerving levels of personality. The sequel adds in local, online, and split-screen multiplayer modes, and that part's no lie. Neither is the sentient robot monitoring your every move when Portal Companion Collection warps onto Nintendo Switch this year.
Oh my god. Nintendo, stop.
A classic comes alive.
Oh my word. Is this what I think it is?
Previously unreleased outside of Japan, the RPG Live Alive makes its overseas debut, now in HD 2D. Multiple stories featuring different protagonists and time periods await. The order in which you tackle them is up to you. Prehistory. A tribesman comes of age in a world without words. The Wild West. A wanderer with a bounty on his head fights for his life. Imperial China. A kung fu master searches for a worthy successor. Twilight of Edo, Japan. A shinobi undertakes an important secret mission.
My god!
Present day, a martial artist strives to become the strongest there ever was. The near future, a youth with psychic powers takes a stand against evil. The distant future, a newly built robot is swept up in a tragedy in space. What other stories are on the horizon?
You will repay my loyalty in death!
Oh my word!
Live Alive launches on Nintendo Switch July 22nd. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop.
Calm down, my blood pressure is gonna go up. Oh.
How was that? Next up is this.
Wait.
It's a new iteration of the Wii Sports series.
Everything!
Nintendo Switch Sports. Please take a look.
This is everything.
Here are the sports included in the Nintendo Switch sports game.
No.
You might recognize these 3 from past Wii sports games. Tennis. Rally by gently swinging the Joy-Con controller at the right time. Bowling. Roll the ball straight ahead or give it a little curve. and Chambara. Knock your opponent off the platform while attacking and defending. Plus, 3 additional sports are joining the lineup. Soccer. Use a gigantic ball to make dynamic plays.
I'm gonna be so mad.
Enjoy matches with Joy-Con controllers to shoot and perform diving headers. By attaching a Joy-Con controller to the leg strap accessory included with the physical version of the game, you can play shootout mode with intuitive kicking motions. Badminton. Control your shots left and right while keeping the shuttlecock in the air. Unleash powerful smash shots to gain the upper hand.
I'm not gonna buy it.
Finally, volleyball. Use a Joy-Con controller to serve, bump, set, and spike the ball.
The charm of the original Wii Sports is there, and there's no sports.
The game supports local play with family and friends on one Nintendo Switch system, as well as online play across all sports. Play against friends online, or opt for random matchmaking. The more you win, the tougher the players you'll face. Try taking on this challenge.
How was that? Since I'm already here, I'd like to show you some gameplay of one of the newly added sports, volleyball.
Mr. Takahashi! Oh, hello there, everyone. I'm Yoshiaki Koizumi from Nintendo.
Wow, Mr. Koizumi, I can see you're ready to play. All right, I'll play some volleyball online together with Mr. Koizumi.
Oh, cool.
Do you have your wrist strap ready?
Yes, of course. I've got plenty of space around me as well.
Why would I want to play this when Mario Strikers is coming out? That's
All right, let's start. We'll be including some live commentary throughout our match.
For those of you who are not aware of why I'm talking,
All right, we're doing this? Volleyball, a newly added sport in Nintendo Switch Sports. What can we expect today from the Takahashi Koizumi team? It's Koizumi to serve, with Takahashi up front. We begin with Koizumi serving. How will the opposing team react? Takahashi makes the block. Another one's coming. Koizumi saves it. A setup in the air, and here comes the spike. The other team saves it and fights back. And they score. Takahashi didn't quite get it in time. All right, well, it's okay. It's okay. The game's not over. Now the other team serves. Koizumi receives it. Takahashi sets it up. And Koizumi spikes, but it goes right toward the opponent. Here's another attack. Now's their chance. They get the ball. And with the setup from Koizumi, Takahashi scores! They got a point with that fierce spike.
Thrown it into a Wii Sports game.
Let's stop our match here.
After all, we were in the middle of a presentation. All right, I'll be leaving now.
That was an introduction to Nintendo Switch Sports.
I just lost all it.
The game launches April 29th. We're planning a free update in the summer that allows you to play soccer matches with a Joy-Con controller and the leg strap accessory. You can use the accessory to play shootout mode at launch. In addition, we're also planning a second free update this fall that lets you enjoy golf.
Oh, so they're gonna add new sports.
And now, a request to everyone. To help ensure that you can all enjoy playing online, we'll be having an online playtest before the game launches to evaluate various technical aspects.
I'm not gonna participate.
We'd definitely like to ask for your help with this. The online playtest will only be available for players with an active Nintendo Switch Online membership on the dates shown on screen. For those of you interested, please visit the official Nintendo website for more details. Thank you. That's all I have for now about Nintendo Switch Sports. I hope you're looking forward to this game. Let's see a few more Nintendo Switch headlines.
Get those taiko drumming skills ready.
Taiko's getting more stuff. Okay. I love this game.
The latest Taiko no Tatsujin game is coming to the Nintendo Switch system. Set in Omiko City, the sacred town for taiko drums, you'll strive to become a taiko master, along with brand new character Kumo-kyun. Drum to dozens of boppin' beats, including Megalovania, Gurenge, Feel Special, and Racing into the Night. And that's not all. An orchestral version of the main theme from The Legend of Zelda is included.
Oh.
That's 76 songs total.
Wow.
Plus, take advantage of a practice mode to replay sections of songs as many times as you'd like. New modes have also been added for everyone to enjoy. Put on a live concert with up to 4 players in Donchen Band. Or face off against each other in Great Drum Toy War. Drum to your heart's content when Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythm Festival launches on Nintendo Switch this year. Plus, a paid in-game subscription service that gives you access to over 500 songs will be available at launch. What's new with these Nintendo Switch games?
DLC.
The brand new tactical RPG game Triangle Strategy is almost here. The protagonist Serenoa and his allies will be engulfed in the conflict among 3 nations. Your choices and conviction will determine their fate.
As Lord of House Wolford, I solemnly swear an oath by which all future lords shall be bound. I will never turn my back on the promise of a better world.
A new demo playable to the end of Chapter 3 will be available on Nintendo eShop later today. Save data from the demo can be transferred to the full game once purchased. More Cuphead action awaits in the paid DLC, Cuphead: The Delicious Last Course. Here, you'll explore a brand new Inkwell Isle, defeat a bevy of new bosses with wild personalities and even wilder attacks. The clever Miss Chalice is a new playable character. Take down fearsome foes with her double jumps, rolling dodges, and more. Cuphead: The Delicious Last Course wallops its way onto Nintendo Switch June 30th. A free update is coming to the Metroid Dread game. All it takes is one hit.
Oh my god!
Even from this. Getting hit even once causes a game over in the brutal Dread Mode difficulty.
Dread Mode!
Can you face this new challenge?
Oh, no. But I would love
And for players new to the Metroid series, take advantage of increased recovery with the newly added Rookie Mode difficulty. This free update launches later today. A second free update in April will add a boss rush mode, in which you'll battle bosses continuously, one at a time.
Oh my god, Nintendo.
Something's bound for Nintendo Switch.
Oh my god. We're actually getting Game Boy, aren't we? It's Game Earthbound. Oh. Thank you. But yet at the same time, this wasn't what I was expecting. I'm gonna guess Earthbound 1, 2, and... This should have just been on there a few years ago. Nintendo, what's stopping you from this game? Like, seriously, what was stopping you? It's not like Earthbound is some hard game to port. It's Earthbound. Oh, okay, Mother 2. Alright. Mother 1, but Mother 1 is coming too. I mean, they ported this to the Wii U. What's next? Mother 3? No. They're not gonna port Mother 3. I'm calling it. They would never port Mother 3.
Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings will be added to Nintendo Switch Online later today.
Wow. Oh, this is just a sizzle reel, isn't it? Zombie Army 4 Dead Horse. I played that game. It's actually pretty good.
What did you think? Here's some news for Mario Kart fans. Many of you have been enjoying the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe game since its launch in 2017. So, we've been working on remastering select courses from across the Mario Kart series and we'll be releasing them as paid downloadable content. Please take a look at this trailer.
No! Wait. Are we gonna get coconut balls? Yeah! No! Paris from...
Paid DLC courses will be coming to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This is the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. You may recognize some courses from past Mario Kart games. 8 courses will be released at a time over 6 waves. That's 48 additional courses we plan on releasing by the end of 2023.
Okay, never mind.
Courses such as Coconut Mall, Choco Mountain, and Tokyo Blur will be included in the first wave. Of course, you can play these courses locally and online. The first wave of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass will launch March 18th. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop. You can enjoy this DLC at no additional cost with a Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack membership, or purchase the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass on its own.
How was that? I hope you're looking forward to the additional courses in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This next segment will be our last announcement. Please take a look.
Is this gonna be a Mario Bros. Movie trailer? Oh, god damn it. Wait, is this
Fighting in order to live, and living to fight. That's the way of our world. Ionios.
Tell me, what would possess you to side with them?
We're fighting because there are enemies to kill.
I refuse to believe you're him.
I knew it. I saw this coming.
You're not enemies now.
Fine for you, isn't it? All that time you've got.
You could try to move forwards again.
How can our lives be so snuffing little to you?
They're not your friends anymore. They're his fuel.
Sword march. The land pierced by a great sword. It's the only way you're gonna defeat the real enemy.
Whatever life is lost, I won't let you shoulder it all alone.
What good filling up these flickering clocks in our eyes? It will never replace the friendship lost.
The flame clock, it has to go!
Ouroboros abhor this world. They must be erased without a trace.
Xenoblade's back. Oh my god. I have my game of the year. September.
The story of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 ties together the futures of the worlds depicted in Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and it will launch this September. I hope you'll look forward to it. That's all for today's Nintendo Direct. Thank you for watching.
Alright, so I'm gonna go back and check on one thing. So,
How was that?
Oh my god, we got some great stuff this time. So I
Leaving
would
now.
say the stuff I'm the most hyped for. Portal's getting a port. That's not worth nothing. There's nothing here that I would say is objectively bad. Oh yeah, Mario Strikers. That's Mario Strikers and Xenoblade 3. That alone was what I needed. To be like, yeah, Nintendo has enough for me this year. Kirby game continues to look good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and look at the Mario Kart thing. So 48 new courses. I want to Google something really quickly. So we're getting 48 new courses. 32 tracks. Okay, we're going to have 90... we're going to have 80 tracks by the end of this. My predictions are... so they showed Tokyo. The courses I'm predicting, hardcore, are... We are definitely going to get Waluigi Pinball at some point. Just because that's one of the more popular fan courses. My question, though, is it saying it's 25 per pass? Or is it saying it's 25 for 48 courses? Because, I mean, if it's 25 for 48, that is a ridiculous price.
Paid DLC courses will be coming to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This is the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. You may recognize some courses.
Alright, I feel like there's a... No, that's all the Mario games. Okay, so I think we're probably going to... Oh yeah, Mario Kart. That was why. Mario Kart 8's already has its courses in Mario Kart 8. Duh. You know, we could get a few... Super Circuit doesn't really have anything major where I'm like, they're going to port that over. I think from DS, we probably will get Waluigi's Pinball and Luigi's Mansion. I think those are the two safest ones to say. From Wii, we already have one port announced. I think Super Mario Kart's probably only going to get 3 or 4. Mario Kart 64 is only going to get 3 or 4. Double Dash might get a few 3 or 4 as well. Well, actually, no. If it's 48 courses, we have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. So that'll be 6 courses from each game. And if we're picking 6 courses from Mario Kart DS, I think Waluigi Pinball's safe. That's the only one I care about. That's why I keep saying it. Yeah, I think that was a pretty good direct overall. Because we had, so they announced more content for Mario Kart, which that's kind of a good idea. This is the one I'm excited about. Mario Strikers Battle League. When I said a new Mario game, I said Mario Sports, and I didn't want to say Strikers. In my paper, I said new Mario Sports game, ? Strikers. In my, like, absolute pipe dream, it's not going to happen section. Because I felt like, okay, we've gotten... So the two big ones are Mario Tennis and Golf. Those are the ones that always get entries. Mario Strikers hasn't had an entry since the Wii. And same thing for Mario Sluggers. But the thing is, out of the two, Strikers just is so iconic. Like, I own Strikers on my Wii. And, like, the one thing that I didn't think I saw... that I wish I saw was, like, look at this art style. Look at this. They have better... Someone put the Persona 5 Scramble in the Strikers art style. Yeah, like, look at this. They just... If they don't have character portraits in that style, I'm going to be very disappointed. Because, like, dude, this is the game that actually... people ask me why I love Waluigi. Strikers Waluigi is probably the best we've ever seen him. Let me see here. So, I'm thinking, what else do we have? Dread's getting an update. That's pretty cool. I'm just going to go ahead and address my elephant in the room. I think if you watch my direct reaction, I am very disappointed with the Switch sports game they announced. Because here's the thing. So, for people who know me, I love the Wii series. When I say the Wii series, I'm talking about the series of games that have Wii in the title. So, Wii Party, Wii Play, and Wii Play Motion, Wii Fit Plus. I don't really count Wii Fit U in that because that came out on the Wii U. And then you have Wii Music and Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. And I absolutely love those games because when it comes to like casual play, they're some of the most fun in the Wii series. But when they announced a new Wii Sports, what I was expecting them to do is say, "Hey, we remastered Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort, threw all the games together because you don't really need Wii Sports Golf if you already have Wii Golf." But here's the thing: these avatars are nothing compared to the Mii's. I know they technically they might look a slight bit better than Mii's, but this just doesn't feel like a Nintendo game without the Mii's being the headliners. Like, it feels wrong. I just can't put my finger on it, but it just doesn't feel right. And even beyond that, like, I think they show that you can play with Mii's in this short little excerpt right here. If you look at the face of their characters, it's very clearly a Mii face. So my question... Yeah, you see right here? These are very clearly Mii's. So you can play as them. Why didn't they just make the Mii's the headliners? This feels really... This doesn't feel right. Like, this... Compared to this, the art style is so different that I would rather just have them say, "Hey, you have to make Mii's for this." But apparently, no. And I mentioned this earlier, what my ideal thing would have been, it would have been for them to take the Mii Maker from Miitopia. Because when I heard that was announced, I was like, yes, that's probably gonna... So, Miitopia has this Mii Maker where you can add, like, makeup and shapes onto the Mii's faces and make them look amazing. Like, if you don't believe me, just Google, like, Miitopia Mii Maker, and you see, like, thousands upon thousands of great Mii's that people have made. If they had taken that Mii Maker and thrown it into here, it would have been a 10 out of 10 for me. Just take that Mii Maker, throw it into this game, and throw the old sports in. But no, they have this mix of, like, two new sports, which I think if they did decide to port it over, what I would have done is I would have said, so here we go. I'm going to do this from the top. Badminton is just tennis. It's slightly different from tennis in concept, I know, but it's going to play very similar to tennis, so I don't see why I would be happy with badminton. Bowling needs to be here, because like Wii Sports Bowling and Wii Sports Golf, in my opinion, are the two that everyone knows and loves. Volleyball, okay, if they had more than 6 sports, I'll be fine with them taking this and saying, "Oh, Chambara is its own sport." Keep in the sword play from Wii Sports. Like, sorry, this game is just the bane of my existence now, and I know it's probably going to perform well, but I hope it absolutely flops. And I'm not saying that against the developers. I'm more so saying it because I miss the Mii's. Like, there's a decent contingent of Nintendo fans who grew up with the Mii's, and we kind of miss them. Like, Miitopia was a game that a lot of people loved because it was like the Mii's again. But no, it's... Yeah, I think Advance Wars looks good. If you want my general summary, I'm just going to start from the top right here. The new Fire Emblem announcement. It looks okay. Advance Wars. It looks great. No Man's Sky. I don't know how this is going to run, but if it runs very well, that's going to be an amazing port. Mario Strikers. You already know my opinions on that. I am more hyped than any human reasonably should be for a soccer game that features Toad. Splatoon 3 Salmon Run. I kind of expected it, but hey, good on them for announcing it, and it looks like it'll be fun. I might actually be interested in buying Splatoon after that. Frontline 1 and 2 ports. Okay. I'm not really into the series, but I have friends who are. If they say if the fan base says the remakes are really good, I'm going to pick it up. Disney Racing. This one has potential. As long as they don't go EA on it. I think if they let you have a specific set of characters, that's fine. Like, some characters I obviously want more than others. Like I said, I want Goofy, because I just really like Goofy. I don't know why. That, and I think they should stick to Disney and Pixar. Like, I love Marvel, I love Star Wars, but don't throw Darth Vader in here. Speaking of Star Wars, segue. Force Unleashed is getting a remake, and I am very happy about that. I have it on the Wii, and I played through it, and the dual mode on the Wii is amazing. Granted, I would rather have them improve, like, one of the already HD versions, but, I mean, if you're going to use the Wii version, I guess that's fine. Or at least I think it's the Wii version. I don't know if the other versions had the dual mode or not. Gundam. New Gundam game. Cool. I like Gundam, but I haven't really played every Gundam game. Chrono Cross getting a port. Once again, if you have not played Chrono Cross, play it. I've played it before. I don't own it, but I've played it. I enjoy that game so much. I might honestly, if it gets a physical, I'll pick it up. Kirby looks good. I think that's all I need to really say. Like, Kirby is Kirby. I don't think I can be disappointed by that. MLB The Show and Kingdom Hearts, I both kind of had the same opinion on. There's, like, one massive flaw. For MLB, it's a lot of them, which is, like, just sports games in general aren't really exciting to me anymore. And then Kingdom Hearts. Why is it a cloud version? So for 3, I can kind of understand that. But why are 1 and 2 cloud versions? Just put them on a physical Nintendo Switch cart and put them out. They ran on the PS2. I own the re-release of them, and it fits on one PlayStation 2 disc to put Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and a whole lot of other games. So they could have just done Kingdom Hearts 1 plus 1.2 on one cart, and I think it would have been fine. It might have had to be a more expensive cart, but it would have been fine. Live Alive. I played this game a long time ago, and I don't really bring it up to people that much, but, I'm sorry, I haven't seen that tower in a long time, so when I was watching the direct, I was like, this isn't Live Alive, is it? But this game looks amazing. Buy it. Like, seriously, buy it. I don't care if you think you're gonna like it, if you think you're not gonna like it, just buy it. Like, it's one of the best RPGs I have ever played. Just... buy it. I'm plugging my computer in, excuse me. Switch Sports. This is probably the most disappointing game out of the entire listing. Oh, since I forgot to mention them earlier, I don't know if they're right after this or not. Yeah, Ezio Collection. I'm not into Assassin's Creed, but if you are, it looks interesting. There is also going to be a re-release of Portal 1 and 2. And honestly, that is probably going to be the one that out of all of these, this is, aside from Mario Strikers and Xenoblade 3, that's the one I'm probably going to pick up. Because I've played Live Alive before, so I don't know if... Taiko no Tatsujin, I really like the series. I own... Let me put it this way. It's like a Rock Band game, where it's like, I can like the series, but I'll only buy the games if they have like a song list that interests me. And I already have most of the songs I want of Taiko no Tatsujin in the current one I have, so I can't see myself picking that up. Earthbound is coming to online. Cool. Lego Brawlers and 2 Point Campus. Like, these are all of these ports I'm like just neat. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe course pack. This is okay. On one hand, I wanted Mario Kart 9. I'm gonna be honest. I wanted Mario Kart 9. I am just tired of Mario Kart 8. Because it has been I've been booting up to the same Mario Kart screen for, well, I mean, the screens have slightly changed, but let me see here. I think it's been like nearly 10. It's been over 5 years at this point. I'm pretty sure. Way over 5 years. It has been okay in 6, 7, 8. It has been 8 years, nearly 8 years since that game released, and we are still getting DLC for it. I think Nintendo just knows that
you may recognize some.
So they said, let's just. My theory is they started making retro courses for 9, but then when 8 wouldn't stop selling, they just said, let's take those courses and put them over into Mario Kart 8. I don't see why Mario Kart Tour is thrown in here, because I would say out of all of these, it's the one that is probably going to get a few more course ports, because it's probably the easiest to port over. But it's probably the one people are not going to talk the most about. I would say we're probably going to get a decent amount from DS, Wii, and Double Dash. Because those are the three that I always hear people talk about when they mention, like, well, those are the three of the ones that I always hear people say are one of their favorites. 64 as well can be thrown in there. I don't know any, like, die-hard Mario Kart 7 Super Circuit, or I think I know, like, one Super Mario Kart fan, like, die-hard Super Mario Kart fan. But I feel like if you're a fan of Super Mario Kart, you don't really care for Mario Kart 8. Because after About Right Here was where they, About Here and Here was right before they made the shift to the more modern style drifting. Like, for me, I swear by Double Dash and DS, so I'm probably biased there. 48 courses. So, I think we're probably going to get... This is the... Actually, if I had to say something, this one right here interests me. This Moon course. Because it doesn't look like we're going to have any... not going to have any crossover courses. Could we get a new Odyssey course for that one? Because the thing is, I think people are just tired of Mario Kart 8 in general. Because it feels like nothing is new. And this doesn't really fix the issue to me. Unless they port over courses that are old enough where it's like, I can't really imagine that in HD. The one I want's Waluigi Pinball, obviously. I won't shut up about that. 8 courses to be released at a time over 6 waves by the end of 2023. So this is probably gonna be the new Smash Bros. Style announcement. That's probably what it is. They probably just had a lot of these ready and didn't want it to compete with Smash, and then Sora was planned, so they had to push it back a decent amount of time. Because if you looked at like Famitsu articles and stuff like that, they've made it very clear that Sora only happened because they mentioned it to a Disney exec at a meeting, and they're like, "Oh, we would also be interested in having Sora in Smash." So they kind of went behind the scenes and had some talks. This one, excuse me, I'm gonna watch this trailer again. The Chronicles 3. The reason I said
that's the way of our world.
Is I thought this was another Fire Emblem for a solid second because of the flute. Because if you're not aware, with Xenoblade, it's usually a little more modern looking than like a Fire Emblem.
Ionios.
Tell me, what would possess you to side with them?
We're fighting because there are enemies to kill.
I refuse to believe you're him.
I knew it. I saw this coming.
You're not enemies now.
Fine for you, isn't it? All that time.
Okay, I am unbelievably happy that this is actually happening, and in September. So now I have a game for September. Like, when I buy this, you will not hear from me for probably the release day of this until mid-October or December, however long it takes me to finish this. Because Xenoblade is my favorite Nintendo series. Xenoblade 1 is my favorite game of all time. But Xenoblade as a whole is just amazing. I might replay 1 and 2, just to hype myself up for 3. So I'll probably play, like, I don't know, play 1 in July and August, and 2 in September, October. well, 2 in Torna, because Torna only takes, like, what, 10 hours to complete. I'm not going to completely replay them, but I'll probably just go all the way through the story again in New Game Plus, because I haven't New Game Plussed my files yet. I usually wait until I either want to run all the way through it again, or... yeah. But anyway, I don't think I really have anything else to say on the Direct. So until next time, guys, this is SharpZ signing off.